10 plus 10 Best Quotes from the John Wick franchise. Part 1. Aside from its excellent action choreography, John Wick stands out from other action movie franchises thanks to its distinctive dialogue and amazing one-liners. The jokes Wick and his fellow actors have delivered over the course of the last 3 movies have been as deadly as the bullets they have shot. There's no shortage of great lines that will continue to symbolize John Wick as a franchise, whether it's John dropping a remark about returning to the life of an assassin or a mentor figure giving him advice that he'll probably never listen to. If the impending 4th movie can maintain up, that remains to be seen. Aurelio breaking the bad news. Aurelio, he stole John Wick's car, sir, and, killed his dog. Vigo, oh. One of John Wick's most cunning crooks, Vigo Tarasov was understandably furious to find that Aurelio had hit him for interfering with John Wick. He was unaware of the complete tale, and Aurelio was hesitant to reveal it. This statement from him caused Tarasov to hesitate before his simple response. For the audience, it was a turning point because it demonstrated that even a man as violent and strong as Vigo Tarasov was afraid of the Baba Yaga. The former assassin, who had made the decision to return to the business, was about to unleash a fury that neither he, his son nor his organization would be able to withstand. The Boogeyman legend. Well, John wasn't exactly the Boogeyman. He was the one you sent to kill the Boogeyman. Russian mafia boss Vigo Tarasov, played by Michael Nyqvist in John Wick, makes for one of the most compelling action movie villains in recent memory. Vigo was well aware of how deadly John Wick was, and their dynamic changed when his rambunctious son Yosef stole his car, broke into his house, and killed his dog. Because Vigo unexpectedly found himself on Wick's other side, his kid was effectively a corpse walking. To emphasize how much difficulty he was in, Vigo passionately gave Yosef the infamous backstory of John Wick when he questioned what the big deal about one guy was. Being civil in an uncivil line of work. Do I look civilized to you? Vigo Tarasov found himself in a difficult situation. He was on the receiving end of John Wick's ferocious and persistent fury. However, that fury was also directed towards his son Yosef, and he couldn't simply stand by and watch him be killed. He made the decision to kill John Wick in order to protect his son. When the two ultimately exchanged blows, it would prove to be his downfall. Tarasov regretted their altercation since it served as a reminder that they were once respectable, professional guys. This is what Wick said in response before taking him down. Sofia gets revenge. Sofia, he shot my dog. John, I get it. Sofia, who shares John's love of dogs, was first introduced to viewers in John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Although she couldn't have known in detail what had happened to him in the past, John still understood when her own dog was killed by merciless criminals. She was equally focused on getting even, and it didn't take her long to exact her vengeance on the perpetrators. When John urged her to cool off, Sofia responded with this quotation. Wick could only express his empathy and the audience's general sentiments by saying, "I get it." The ultimate ultimatum. You want a war? Or do you want to just give me a gun? The pursuit of vengeance by John Wick, who was extremely enraged at Santino D'Antonio, finally led those in their shared circle to either join in or stay very, very far away from the gunshots. That meant that Wick would need to set some ground rules for the Continental and those who operate there. John understood the importance of a straightforward goal. They might hand him a weapon, or they might get shot by one. Sadly, John would subsequently go too far and cause a whole new set of issues, sending him fleeing for his life. On the other hand, it demonstrated why John Wick and its sequels were among Keanu Reeves' best action pictures. Will Part 4 stay last? Leave a comment. These 10 quotes channel videos are some you should watch next. Don't forget to check them out as well. The links for these videos are listed in the description below. Tall assassin tales. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. With a fucking pencil. Vigo also had to tell his son tales of the Baba Yaga's most cunning murder to convince him that John was formidable and much beyond their capability. Vigo must have been drawn to John after witnessing him kill 3 men in a pub using nothing but a pencil. Although that might have appeared like a dramatic tall tale, audiences subsequently got to witness it firsthand as John took up a pencil and killed his would-be assassin. John viewed everything as a weapon, sometimes out of necessity rather than a sadistic fantasy. John's understanding friendly neighborhood policeman. Evening, Jimmy. Noise complaint? Even though John Wick may have been one of the most significant action films of 2014, the humorous exchange between John and the neighborhood cop Jimmy stood out. The cops were summoned after John had just killed several criminals in his house due to a noise complaint. The fact that Wick asked Jimmy this question suggested that the two men had a good working relationship. The fact that he only inquired about John's employment suggests that there is more to this convenience-based relationship than first appears. Mercy for Cassian. The knife is in your aorta. You pull it out, you will bleed, and you will die. Consider this a professional courtesy. John and Cassian were 2 assassins who respected one another under normal conditions. But when Cassian began to believe that John was to blame for the death of his charge, he embarked on a murderous retribution mission. The two eventually clashed on a subway, when Wick stabbed him in the aorta but refrained from killing him instantly. Even if Cassian didn't feel the same way, he still had a great deal of respect for him. Cassian might make a comeback in John Wick 4 as a result of this act of mercy. Trying to bribe the Baba Yaga. Everything's got a price. Yosef's fear of John Wick wasn't fully realized until he heard this same statement from the Baba Yaga. Yosef found it terrifying because he overheard John telling him that sentence on his best buddy's phone, which most likely meant that his friend had stopped breathing. The fact that this was one of the first few things Yosef mentioned to John about his prized vintage '69 Ford Mustang made it much more worrisome for him. Later on, it would come back to haunt him severely, with John's persistent pursuit never pausing even for a moment to catch his breath. A terrifying prophecy. You stabbed the devil in the back. To him, this isn't vengeance, this is justice. In John Wick 2, Winston and Santino D'Antonio had a classic figurative argument over the latter's betrayal of John Wick. To force him to murder his sister and advance to the high table, Santino employed the leverage of assassin custom. Of course, Santino's plans were known to Winston from the beginning. He gave the backstabbing mob leader these chilling words of advice knowing that Santino would betray John, and for a brief moment, the mob boss seemed to forget who John Wick was. He would regret it later, but not for very long. Do you know any other Keanu Reeves movies? Leave a comment. Don't forget to watch part 2 of our John Wick video. More videos about your favorite TV series are coming soon. Subscribe to see more.